Now, obviously the leg isn't really blue, and that came out, that bit of blue I just added to the knee there, that came out a bit darker than intended. Just wanted to hint at a bit of shadow down there, but having made that kind of mistake, I'll go with it and give the sheep a blue foreleg for the moment at least. We may end up leaving it that way. We'll see what happens. And now let's add even more of the tinting white. A little bit more water. I just want to cool down some of this yellow that we've got as our underlayer. And I think that's probably enough of the blue for the moment. Well, I've now got some pure tinting white loaded onto a slightly older 1/2 inch flat brush. So because this one's a bit older, it's a bit more frayed. So my plan is to get a few jagged edges into the situation. So we've got some light catching the back of the sheep here. Now there is quite a bit of light catching the rear end as well, but I still quite like that blue, I think. That bit of watercolour marker that's showing through. So we'll leave that for the moment. I might cover it later. We can begin to build up some highlights now. So this white is quite translucent, and consequently it allows me to begin to introduce highlights in a fairly gentle way. And it still leaves some of the earlier work showing through. And then if I find that I don't like that effect, I can always cover it with some titanium white. Or if I just need an area to be brighter, I can do the same thing. But these translucent highlights mean that a lot of the underlying colours are going to show through. So we automatically get some variety within the highlights that we're putting down. Now continuing with the tinting white, but I haven't diluted this at all, and I'm now changing to a filbert brush, so it's quite a bit smaller. And this is just going to allow me to put some stronger highlights on and control the brush stroke a little better. So even at this stage, I'm still thinking about the modelling of the animal. So just trying to create a sense of 3 dimensions. And so with that in mind, what I'm looking to do is pick out the different planes of the overall shape of the body. So for example, where the leg kind of disappears into the body here, it's quite curved, it's quite convex. So I'm painting in an arc as I apply these highlights. Up here, it's a little bit flatter, so I can put some flatter marks down. When we come to the back, again, we curve the brush stroke to mimic the curvature of the back. Now, I think within this patch of watercolour marker, I'm just going to add for now a few little white highlights. Being careful to angle the brush strokes in slightly different angles each time. And this flank needs to be quite a bit whiter as well. Okay, so I think that's enough of the tinting white for now. So next step is I want to refine my darks a little more. So I'm coming in with some pure ultramarine blue for the moment. Just adding a patch of that there. Put a little bit under that eye as well. And a touch there. And then grabbing a little bit more ultramarine blue now, but I'm just adding a touch of the burnt umber to give me a very dark colour. And I want to really, strengthen some of these shadows. Where they're at their darkest. So we've got nostrils here and here. Underneath the jaw will darken.